guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know already, my name is Brittany and I've been a type 1 diabetic for 18 years now. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things that I wish I could tell my 12-year-old self today and things that I wish I would have known when I was newly diagnosed. But before I get started, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos. So, finding out that I was diagnosed at 12 years old was a very hard concept to grasp, and it's hard to be diagnosed at any age, really, but because I was at such a fragile age of 12 years old, starting middle school, trying to make friends, trying to fit in, I didn't want to accept this diagnosis. I knew what life was like before I was diagnosed. I was in denial. I was angry. I lied about my blood sugars to my parents, and I just wanted to hide from diabetes. And especially since type 1 diabetes is a misunderstood disease than type 2 diabetes, it's easy for people to assume certain things about your disease. So I felt that it was just better for me to hide it and try to pretend like it wasn't there. But for years and years, I had a really hard time. Honestly, I'm surprised I'm alive today because I would have lots of low blood sugars. I didn't check my sugar. I didn't eat when I was supposed to. I wanted to eat things when I wanted to. I wanted to be like everybody else. I didn't want to stand out or be picked on for having diabetes, and people assume that I ate too much sugar or I didn't take care of myself, and I felt embarrassed and ashamed of my disease, which that should never be the case. But now that I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm stronger, I have so much wisdom and experiences with this disease that I hope I can share some of this knowledge and what I've learned along the way. I am married, I have 3 kids, I'm healthy, I exercise, I take care of myself, and I've learned that diabetes does not control my life. I can do anything except make insulin, and I want to help anybody that is going through a hard time to know that you're not alone, and what may seem hard right now, it will get better, you will get stronger, and this time will pass. So these are 10 things that I've learned and I wish I would have told myself when I was newly diagnosed. Number 1, you're braver than you think and you're stronger than you know. Don't think of diabetes as a weakness. Think of diabetes as an opportunity to find your strengths and to find courage that you didn't know existed. Diabetes has motivated me when I think that, oh, I can't do something because of diabetes, or someone tells me that I push myself so hard and I do, and I've done everything I've ever wanted to do. Diabetes always throws curveballs, and I just try to run with it. I try to have diabetes work for me. If it's low, I figure out how to fix it in order to go exercise. Or if I'm going camping or going to the beach, I make sure that I can still do everything I want to do no matter what or which way diabetes wants to go. I don't let it stop me from achieving my goals. And I know that I was given this disease because I'm strong enough to live it. And I'm just going to do the best that I can each and every day. You are capable of battling diabetes. It does not control you. You have the potential for greatness, so just believe that. Number 2, invest in your health because beauty fades. I will admit, I was a pretty young girl, and I thought that I had to live up to just being pretty, and I didn't want to go on the beach with an insulin pump and seeing people stare at me. And I've realized now that I'm 30 years old, people still stare, people still are misunderstanding my diabetes. They still say a lot of things to me that are misconceptions, that are not true. And that's because people are ignorant to the disease. It does not mean that you have to hide it to appeal to people. People will like you and love you for who you are, no matter what. If you think about it, if you value your health, in the long run, you'll live a much longer life. You'll see your children graduate college. You will get to walk your son or daughter down the aisle when they get married, and you will live your best life. So nurture and protect your future, and realize that the appeal of being attractive and to being appealing to other people, that should not be important. Feel good and take care of yourself. Number 3, know that there will be bad days, but the best days are yet to come. Sometimes we get stuck in a rut where there's just bad blood sugars and you can't seem to figure out how to fix it, and you say, well, what's the use? It's just going to continue to be bad. But that's not true, because I've had such bad experiences and I've learned from them. I've made mistakes, huge mistakes, and I've continuously tried to figure out this disease and how to be better and make it work for me. And because I've listened to my body over the years, I've figured out how my body reacts in certain times in the month. I have gotten better at managing it over the years. So you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to find ways to improve, and rest assured that it will get easier over time. Maybe not so much easier, but you get smarter and stronger along the way. Just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. One day you're gonna look back and be surprised by how far you've come and how much you've overcome, and the days that you thought you'd never get through, and you've gotten, I don't know how many years with diabetes. You're gonna be so proud of yourself. Just appreciate the hard times, because it makes you who you are. It makes you stronger. As cliche as that sounds, it's so true. Number 4, listen to your family's concerns. They may not offer the best support, but they mean well. When I say this, I mean that not everybody can put themselves in your shoes, because nobody quite understands. My family, my mom, my dad, grandma, siblings, they did not educate themselves to completely understand type 1 diabetes. I had to teach myself that over time. My husband was more than willing to educate himself. He's been amazing. He's supportive. But what I've learned is you have to be your own hero. Nobody is going to save you. Nobody can do this for you. You have to dig deep within yourself and find that strength to push forward and to be your own hero. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. Nobody can fix it or take it away from you. Nobody wants this for you, but you have to go out and you have to make the life worth living. Number 5, don't be embarrassed by carrying around syringes at school or at work. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get stared at. People are going to assume that you're carrying around syringes for other purposes. But you know what the saying, ignorance is bliss. But even though they may not understand, it doesn't mean you have to hide from it. Educate them, share with them. My insulin pump goes off all the time when I'm in group settings, and as annoying as it is and how many stares I get, that leads me into a whole educating conversation. I will sit there for maybe 30 minutes and explain to them, this is type 1 diabetes, this is what I do. And more than not of the time, they are intrigued and they want to learn more. And I find that actually really awesome, because I'm doing a good thing by educating people that didn't know before about my disease, and maybe then they can have a different perspective on it. They can understand it. And if somebody were to get diagnosed in the future, they would understand that no, diabetes does not mean that it is just an adult disease and this and that. So I'm doing a good thing, and so can you. Educating yourself about diabetes is key. When you educate yourself, you're honoring yourself. You need to know everything there is to know about your disease. Knowledge is power, and it gives insight about what can happen if you don't take care of yourself. I used to be in denial when I was younger, And I said, well, nothing's ever gonna happen to me. I don't care, la da da. But as I got older, I've learned so much, and I continuously learn. There's so much to learn about type 1 diabetes. And as much as I've learned, I've also learned how to avoid lows and how to avoid highs in certain circumstances. Shutting information out is doing an injustice to yourself, because there's so much to learn. It will make you feel good about letting it all in, because you can feel confident in managing your disease. Nobody that's going to do a better job. There's no doctor, there's no specialist, but you. You know your body more than anybody else. Number 7, find help when necessary. Suck up your pride. I've been in situations where I've been at a store, my blood sugar has gone low and I don't have anything with me or in my purse or anything. So I will ask somebody, hey, could you help me with something? Can you help me get something sweet, a candy bar, a soda? I know it can be embarrassing, like you're being a burden on somebody, but honestly, so many people are willing to help you. You just have to have the courage to ask. There's online support groups if you need to speak to somebody. I have one on Facebook. It's a support group. I will leave that down below. There are so many organizations and information online, blogs, podcasts. There's so many resources that you can reach out to talk about your disease, so you don't feel like you're going through it alone. If you need to vent, if you need to share some things, get something off your chest, you can talk to a doctor, you can talk to a therapist, anybody. Go to diabetes camps. There's so many things that can help you with managing this disease. You just have to get out there and have the courage to ask. Number 8, this isn't a fad. This is a lifestyle change. I go through periods of diabetes burnout, and that is normal. I'm not always perfect, but I have to continuously make changes to better myself. This isn't going to go away unless there's a cure in our lifetime, but for now, this is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to make changes. You're going to have to sacrifice some of your time and energy to this disease. I have to accept that this is your new way of life, and that's okay. It is kind of like brushing your teeth. It is just going to be one of those things that you're going to have a routine. Even if you try to ignore it, it's still going to be there. It's better to just accept it, let it in, get your frustrations out at times, and keep pushing and keep moving. I still eat things that I want to eat. I go out and exercise. I'm basically just like anybody else. I have to do things in moderation, but I'm also being a healthy individual by making good choices and making sure that I'm taking care of myself. It is not, I'm a healthy diabetic. I'm a healthy adult. I'm a healthy individual. Number 9, open up. It's okay to be vulnerable. I started the Diabetic Journey blog 4 years ago. That was when I let my walls down. I shared everything that I needed to say. Years of built up aggression, anger, frustration, sadness, helplessness, guilt, shame, embarrassment. I let it all out on my blog and I shared it with all of you. And I actually received stories from so many people sharing about themselves. It opened up a line of awareness, communication. It felt like we let the walls down of the shield we have around diabetes. We can't let people know, listen, diabetes needs to be heard. Our stories need to be heard. Our lives need to be heard. As vulnerable as we feel when we share, because we feel some sort of guilt, like this happened, I got a low blood sugar, or I got a high blood sugar, and then there's people that say, well, why don't you eat this, or why don't you go on a low carb diet, or why don't you take better care of yourself? Listen, nobody is going to understand unless we speak up and share with them and be vulnerable. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good that you can let it out. And there's so many ways to do that. Can't understand or sympathize with you unless you share with them. The more you open up and share, the less insecure you feel about diabetes. I will literally go up to a stranger, or if somebody comes up to me and asks about it, I will share with them, and they apologize a lot of the time. And they say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you or anything, asking about a CGM or insulin pump. And I say, no, it's okay. It makes me feel good that I do not care what other people think. I don't care if somebody asks me. I don't care if somebody's staring, because I'm proud of myself that I can literally show off my diabetes and be proud of the person that I am, because I am living and breathing today because I overcame all of the obstacles, and I'm continuously doing so. I'm proud of myself, and so should you be. Number 10, this is a blessing in disguise. Embrace it. No, nobody wants diabetes. It sucks. It's life-threatening. It's a chronic condition. But you have to look at it for the positives and not the negatives. I look at it, how it's made me stronger, how it's made me a better human being, how it's made me give back to people, how it's made me look at people with other illnesses and chronic conditions, and how I can sympathize and have empathy for people, and I'm better for it. I'm kinder for it. It gives you a whole new perspective on health. It makes you appreciate life more, gives you the strength to conquer anything. The positives of having diabetes will get you through the tough times. So those are the 10 things that I wanted to share with you. I hope this video was helpful. It was nice to take a step back and see what a diabetic of 18 years has to say about it. I know this video could be helpful for somebody newly diagnosed or for a parent of a diabetic, so they can share this with them, because when we are new to it or we're going through a hard time, we don't see the road ahead. We see what's going on right now, how hard it is, how we feel like we can't get through this. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Stay strong. Take care of yourself, love yourself, embrace the disease, educate yourself, help others, educate others. Just kick butt at diabetes. You got this. Thank you for watching. I appreciate and love all the support. Please leave me a comment if you like this video, what you want to see next. I love it. I love this channel. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.